by in mass, you know, that other agencies are using it, we get more discounts and rebates. So it did do that for this foundation.
Will we be able to use buy fuel for the vehicles?
That's right. If you can, there's no extra cost in Fast Trip for using credit cards. So we will keep going.
We're still working on that to get different credit cards rather than shoving cards. We took one step by getting the government shoving cards, which gave us a discount. Now we're working on trying to move that forward.
But this will allow us to go to Fast Trip or whoever has got the lowest, best gas.
I don't think we're going to be issuing,
Or diesel.
gas cards to every employee, but we have to work on that under policy.
Well, the Bank of the West cards, card purchasing program is like everything.
Yeah, I mean, you could use those cards to purchase them.
Or diesel, as the case may be.
Absolutely.
Does a mechanic recommend we keep using Chevron gasoline, or diesel doesn't really matter, I don't think.
There's arguments on several sides. Some people have said, the fast track gas might be a little cheaper, but it might be a little bit more dirtier. It doesn't give you as good gas mileage. So it's it's a balance. But right now, it's the policy of getting policies in place of issuing regular credit cards to employees that they're accountable for. Right now, the Chevron cards automatically have to punch in the driver number. You have to punch in your mileage, so it keeps track of all of that. And then also we get the government discount.
This is anecdotal, but in my cards, Sam's, Costco, Love's, I get less gas mileage in it, and it washes at the end. I get 2 miles a gallon better with Chevron.
And if you're getting, I don't know, the argument, I'm not an auto mechanic.
Yeah,
the argument would be is that if you're getting bad gas mileage, that means the gas isn't as clean. How long are the pistons going to last? How long is the life of the engine? But I'm not an expert. I wouldn't even guess that.
Mine's just anecdotal.
Right.
If I get about 2 miles to a gallon better,
Yeah.
I'm Chevron gas.
I think diesel is pretty much fungible, though. You can't really
I don't know.
say Chevron.
I'm not a diesel expert either.
All right,
So moved.
Mr. Lennon has moved. Do I have a second on the Mr. McKay?
Roll call.
Dr. Schulberger?
Yes.
Dr. Lennon?
Yes.
Dr. McKay?
Yes.
Vice President Ewers?
Aye. Number 2, adopt resolution 2016-101, so that will last. Approving the stipulated settlement agreement by and between the Rosamond Community Services District and Ewers, and accepting a deed in lieu of judicial foreclosure for the property identified as Curry County Assessor's Parcel number 473-130-28-00-8, which is 1.25 acres. And to authorize the execution of all such documents necessary to complete the terms of the stipulated settlement agreement from the general manager.
Right, this is all part of the bond workout, that where there's assessment districts and there has been unpaid assessments. And so some of the property owners have come and tried to settle it. We've talked about this before, that there's different levels of settlement. And this is all from Martin Costlet, and we wrote a report for it. I wouldn't want to extrapolate on anything else that he said, but it's sort of, part of this whole process.
Looking at the documents, it appears to be a 2013 document, and then the attorney who was following it was winding down a practice and somehow the stipulation never made it to the board in the last 2.5 years. Is that right?
As I look at the documents, that's my surmise as well. It looks like it was originally negotiated in 2013, and Ms. Fogelman retired, as I believe the board is aware, and I certainly am. And in the course of her retirement, this one slipped through the cracks because the stipulation is executed in 2013, but the actual deed was not yet accepted by the district. So that's what would be before you tonight, is to final this out.
And Mr. Goofy has signed the deed.
That's what the documents show. It's notarized.
Mr. Smith? Are the current county taxes owed on this property also?
I don't know.
Council could read the deed to, but here's the situation. My understanding of reading the deed, it says that all the taxes continue to remain with the property. It does not, because we bought it, it does not extinguish them.
Correct.
So what we can do now, once we have the property, just ask council before the meeting started, is even though the taxes are on there, maybe it's an acre and a quarter, it's a half mile north of Avenue Way and 30th Street West, I think, or 35th Street West. It's the middle of nowhere, flat floodland, probably not worth more than $10,000. Now, it may have $20,000 worth of debt on it. We can sell it for the $10,000 cash. The bondholders get the $10,000 cash, and someone else can start using the property again and start paying regular taxes on it. Is that correct, Council?
That would be the intent. The only caveat to that is we are in parity with county taxes. The county taxes would remain on the property. So that would affect the saleable value. But we can avoid the cost of continuing a foreclosure action, which is why it's a deed in lieu of foreclosure, and recover as much as we can for our bondholders to comply with their covenants.
My memory serves, he didn't pay that much for the property to begin with, so the county taxes can't be that much, 1% per year.
Correct. I wouldn't expect. Essentially what this gets you is what we would have at the end of the day after going through the cost and expense of a judicial foreclosure action without going through the cost and expense of a judicial foreclosure action. So that's where it leaves us.
So move on NB2. Second.
All right, it's been moved, it's seconded, that we adopt resolution 2016-101, go ahead with the roll call, sorry.
Director Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
Director Glenn.
Yes.
Director McKay.
Yes.
Vice President Oscar.
Aye. All right, that billing structure from deferred to a 30-day billing for legal services for delinquent assessment matters in assessment districts numbers 1990-2, 1991-3, 1994-4. Ronald Smith, General Manager.
As you remember, the attorney, because of a waiver of conflict, is representing the trustee and us in this through the bank. And because of that, we don't pay the attorney. The attorney's paid out of the bond settlement money and also out of the construction money that was part of the bonds and stuff. So they're trying to just, Burke is requesting this so they can clean up their billing cycle, which is going to be.
And I guess the question is, I got 1990-4-4, which assessment district is that?
I can't tell you.
I'm not familiar with it. You know?
We have several assessments.
I'm a little confused because in the letter where the attorney tells us that she's leaving, it sounds like, they're nullifying the agreement with Burke.
I think she's still maintaining a lien on the case, is that right? Once we get this thing done, is that correct, Council?
We were talking about billing structure.
I'm talking about,
We're on NB3.
yeah, we're on NB3.
But it's kind of related to that, though. Basically, what it's saying, this allows Cosmos firm to go ahead and bill.
It's the same firm.
It's the same firm.
I know,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so,
Same
This
firm.
is,
yeah.
But Cosmos firm now gets to bill the bond
Trustee.
trustee, and not us.
Correct.
That's the bottom line.
Correct.
right, and it's because they have a dual representation now, so they're trying to smooth everything out and make everything consistent with you. Yes.
Okay, any public comment? Any discussion? I'll entertain a motion to approve the change in billing structure for deferred 30-day billing for legal services for delinquent assessment matters in assessment district number 1990-2, 1991-3, and if necessary, 1991-4.
So move.
Been moved and seconded that we approve the billing changes in billing structure for deferred. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. New business item number 4, discussion and action to sponsor the Rosamond Chamber of Commerce September Fest for a cost not to exceed $3,500. Director Ed McKay.
Okay, one of the things that I'm looking at this, it's America's Military Guardians of Freedom. We have the sponsor form, and I would make a motion that we support a $500 level.
Would you entertain
Well,
Actually,
staff, if you read the report, staff come up with the 3,500, not me.
Oh, okay, I understand.
Correct, and it depends on what you want to do.
Yes.
If you want to, they're requesting that Sweet Sue drives in the parade. If you want Sweet Sue to drive in the parade, if you want to have a conservation booth, if you want to have that staffed with things to give out, the estimated is not to go over $3,500. $500 will not do that. That will put an ad in there, and you'll be a sponsor. But then you're going to have to question yourself on to how do you equate that to and make the nexus with that this is for conservation. The idea that you were putting in the conservation budget is that we would be out there actively trying to tell the public as a public relations thing that this is for conservation. So you have two things to consider. If you want to do $500, that's fine, but then you have to make that nexus of how does that support conservation, where otherwise it's going to just be a gift of public funds to some nonprofit. But then the question is, what do you want to do? The board had said you wanted Sweet Sue in there, you want a booth, you want this. You can't do that for $500.
Yeah, I would do.
In fact, you can't even get a booth and be in the parade for under $1,500, much less staffing and driving the truck.
I think it's good that we're bringing it.
I'm just doing that for information. I'm not making the decision. It's just you just have to know all the factors of the decision.
So I have a second on that motion?
So moved.
For the 500? Would you be entertained?
To that be to do the, what's it called?
So far, the motion is for $500 only.
It's for the gold sponsorship.
Okay, without doing Sweet Sue, without doing.
Well, we could choose to do that, but this is for the gold sponsorship.
No, this is.
We do not have. You have to appropriate the money to do Sweet Sue and everything else.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, but could we do that at two things?
No, well,
Because we're only gonna give them $500.
No.
The cost for Sweet Sue is an internal cost.
Correct, but you have to appropriate that money.
there.
Yeah.
So to make this clear, we're gonna spend $500 on our sponsorship.
Then you still
We're
have
also,
three.
we're also
you have
gonna
approximately-
pay for Sweet Sue, and we're also gonna have the booth with the handouts for the public.
That's $3,500.
Well, actually, only $2,500.
No, it's
Our
$3,500.
initial sponsorship was gonna be $1,500, we're cutting it to $500. Is that right?
I'd have to look at that. I don't know if you're gonna get the booth and you get in the parade. It's all part of the package. I don't know if you get a booth there. We have to figure that out. That wasn't the direction, so we didn't figure that one out. When we look at the sponsorship, if you get a booth and everything.
Let's see, gold sponsor, $500. And that's $20 fee for being the parade. Booth rental is,
Yeah, with the gold sponsorship, you do not get a booth.
it's $20 for the booth. Yeah, all we did is get a full-page ad and regular plus a banner and platinum, so. That's only an extra $20 for the booth. So, if you would amend your motion to say we're going to pay for the booth, pay for being in the parade, pay for having Sweet Sue there, which might be more expensive, but it shows it there.
Yeah, I mean, if you
Yeah,
have
$500 overall, I think it's good. That's, the overall cost could be closer to $2,500.
You're just looking at the application and you're not considering that you have to appropriate money from the water and sewer fund into conservation. I have to pay a staff member to run.
Basically,
That's all in there. That's why, and we also don't have anything to hand out at the booth. So we're gonna have to buy those things.
So cost not to exceed $2,500 actually covered, you understand that?
No, I don't understand because we didn't go through that yet. So
So
I don't know
Go
where.
ahead, look at the structure. The platinum structure is $1,500. And what we're doing, instead of playing platinum, we're playing for gold, which would be $500.
Okay. And do you get a booth with that? No matter what sponsorship?
Well, I think I'm asking Mr. McKay to include the $20 for the booth. For nonprofit, that's us. And $10 for the parade entry. That's a total of $30 extra. So if we'll be spending $530 for the chamber directly, that's going to be the extent of our expenditures with the chamber. Everything else we're going to
So
spend.
you're saying if you're reducing the expenditures with the chamber by $1,000, you're saying that you're appropriating $2,500 to do the parade.
Overall, correct.
I think reading, I haven't had a chance to look at it because this is a change. It appears that you could do that because it says here included in your sponsorship is a free parade entry and a park booth space.
Oh, for $500, we get that?
It appears to be that, right.
Okay, so
And I don't see, so you're talking about basically $1,500. We'll cover everything.
Well, about $2,500.
I mean, $2,500 will
Yes.
cover everything. I believe that's correct.
Would you amend your motion to say for costs not to exceed $2,500?
Yes.
Mr. Linda, would you agree with that? Any discussion, any public comment? Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of spending not to exceed $2,500 on the Rosamond Chamber of Commerce September Fest using the gold sponsorship, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 4-0. General manager update.
Yeah, I wanted to reiterate that one of the board members wanted me to speak about it again, that the land purchase that we did for water units, that we sold 94 units for $940,000. And that was basically the price that we paid for the property. So we have left, we have some people that are wanting to purchase the other ones.
There's only 54 units left, is that right? So 2/3 of our inventory is gone.
We have 56 units left. We're going to, staff and I have decided that we want to keep a portion of that, maybe 7 units or 6 acre-feet, because if we're going to sell the property, somebody might do a solar farm, and we want to be able to, they're going to need some water with the property.
I think we have 54 units, because we also sold one to the Dollar General and one to an individual.
Right, we have that too, so we have 54. It depends on how we did it at first. So you have 54, so we're gonna keep a few of them and then sell the rest. So you have virtually, close to,
Basically, they have 1/3 of the units left. So
Right.
they need to get on it if they want it, because they're not going to last too long.
so if we sell 50 of them, that's $500,000. And we still own the property.
Okay.
So that was good.
What are we doing to maintain the property? Anything?
There's nothing, it's unused farmland that's been.
It's got enough residents out there, so I guess.
Yeah, we're selling that to residents, just for like $1,000. It's been gutted inside. It's an old mobile home.
Well, they're going to move it off the property.
They're gonna move it off the property. There's a barn there still. It's really nice. It's, and we're thinking about putting it up, for auction and selling it so we can take it apart and move it. But we're looking into that. And then we're having a commercial real estate broker. He's already been contacted with some clients from a foreign country that might be interested in that.
Very cool.
So we're going forward with that. Gotta get it appraised. We gotta do some other appraisals on some property.
Okay. Assistant General Manager update.
Yeah, Assistant General Manager, Director of Public Works, needed to be off, so they're excused, and then Brad had to go with the plan too, so the finance director. So you can move right on to Lizette.
Lizette, so you can report for John, Brad, and Brock. Nothing to report. All right, is there anything else for the good of the order?